And we're back. You tuned into Sport Federation TV. You must remember to like our Facebook page, that's Sport Federation TV, for the interviews that we are having today and all the interviews from the past. And you're sure to find a sport that you could be interested in, or a sport that you can learn more about. In studio with me now from the world of climbing, we have Chris Naude and Quincy Vearey to tell us about recent developments and upcoming events in the world of climbing. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, Lily.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us. Chris, you no stranger to the show, and you've always got great news from the world of climbing. But before we get into the real stuff, please tell our viewers at home about the different aspects there are to the climbing as a sport.
Yeah, I think the one nice thing about climbing is that anybody can do it. You show me a small child who doesn't want to climb everything. They climb trees, they climb the curtains, they climb up the burglar bars, they climb. It's just a natural thing to do.
Seems like a good sport for cats, eh?
Yeah, and we have in the Western Cape such a wide variety of climbing. We've got Table Mountain and the Hottentots Holland Mountains and everything right on our doorstep. There's so much climbing to be done here. As we speak, there's a lot of international climbers. I've personally got a whole bunch of visitors from America and some from Switzerland who are here to climb in our Cederberg, which is just up the road. And that place is humming now with foreigners who have come all the way around the world to come and climb here on our fantastic rock.
And South Africa is so inexpensive, most beautiful country in the world, arguably, and so inexpensive for these.
Absolutely. We were walking around provisioning them for their camping trip, and they were just laughing. They said that's not money. That's so cheap.
All right, and Quincy, you started climbing. How long have you been involved with the sport?
Well, I started rock climbing about like 3 years ago, and I started speed climbing about like 6 months ago. Yeah.
6 months ago. How did you get involved with the sport?
Well, I was always into urban acrobatics, like free running, parkour, and climbing up trees. And I also, the people who inspired me to do this was my mom, my parents, and my tutor, Mr. Teal.
Now, you said you're into speed climbing. You've been doing it for 6 months.
6 months, yeah.
Okay. How does that compare for you with the other different disciplines?
Well, I'm not too good at. I'm good at bouldering, and top rope. I'm quite good at top rope, but my strength is speed, particularly, and I just got my lead license, so that's.
And what does that mean?
Well, lead is a climbing discipline. It's technically, so you climb with quick throws, and you need to hook it into these. You need to clip it into these anchors.
Crevices.
Yeah, anchors as you climb. So it's like top rope with a twist.
Okay.
Technically.
Okay. So it's very different, and
Very
you've been doing it for 6 months, and you've been competing as well in this discipline.
Yes, I've been I've only competed once, and that was at the. Well, I wouldn't say compete. It was at the selections. So it's like.
So one of the things is, if I can just butt in here, is that speed climbing is very new in South Africa. So the reason he's only been speed climbing for 6 months is because the speed climbing wall has only been around in its
so it was facilities
for the last 6 months. The facilities have not been available to actually do the speed climbing.
Right.
And one of the big differences between speed climbing and lead climbing is that lead climbing, every time you climb a competition route, it's a different route, and it's the first time you've seen that route, and you've got to go and climb something really hard. Speed climbing is a bit more the climbing equivalent of hurdles. Every time you run, the hurdles are the same height, the same distance apart, but you're going to try and do that as fast as you can.
Right.
So lead climbing wall is a particular problem set up with holds in a specific place, and they're always exactly the same as that. There's no difference whether you're climbing a speed wall here in Cape Town or whether you're climbing a speed wall in.
It's the same.
In Switzerland or anywhere else. It's completely uniform, very standard, and your time that you get up that speed wall here is immediately comparable to a time that anybody else does it anywhere else in the world.
Okay, thank you for putting it into
So-
perspective. With the different disciplines, you said there's bouldering and there's speed climbing and there's one more. Hey,
Bouldering, speed climbing, lead climbing, and there's also trad climbing.
Trad, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not really a competitive one. That's more that's where climbing originated, and it's for looking at a mountain and figuring out a way up it.
Okay.
So you take all your own gear with you. There's no pre-placed gear. You're finding your own way up.
Okay.
Up a particular route up a mountain.
All right. Well, you've brought a video so we can actually see what speed climbing is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that video now. Wow. I don't even think I can walk that fast. So you're busy training for an upcoming event now. Hey.
Yeah, training for because I made the Western Cape team as well. So I'm gonna at 28th of June. I'm gonna be going to Joburg to compete in the national competition there. So I'm
Okay.
also training for that, and I'm also training for the Youth World Championships in Moscow, which will be on the 4th of August. So I'm training quite hard for that.
For Russia.
Yeah, we can congratulate him for that because he actually made the national team as well. So he's in the national team.
Amazing.
And,
So you're the special boy now in climbing, in the climbing world.
And he is the fastest in his age group, which is pretty awesome for
Wow.
the short amount of time that he's done it.
Wow,
for. So
lovely, lovely. Now, what's the record to beat?
Well, the top. Well, the best I've seen was by Daniel Boldriv, and that was 5.6
Seconds.
5.6 seconds.
How tall is the wall?
The wall, 15 meters.
15 meters in 5.6 seconds.
Yeah.
And what's been your best time so far?
Well, my best was sub 8.9, which I got
Yeah.
like actually a week ago.
And well, obviously those countries also have had exposure to the sport and the training and the coaches much longer than 6 months.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely. In some of the places, generally speaking, the guys who do speed climbing, it's a specialist discipline. They don't do other kinds of climbing. They just do speed climbing.
Yeah.
And some of them really, I mean, they've been training for many years. The one chap we were chatting to in Russia was telling us that his coach makes them do it blindfolded. So
That's some Karate Kid
know
stuff.
yeah, exactly. They know that pattern so well, and their muscle
Wow.
memory for going up a wall like that is just
Yeah. And they're professional climbers, so that's what they do.
and they're
That's all
professional
they
climbers.
do. Hey.
That's what they do. Yeah.
Are you a student at the moment?
Yeah, I am a member of Top Out Climbing, Western Cape Climbing, Top Out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what's happening with, well, you said this is the first wall that we have in the Cape Metro area,
Yeah.
but you've got big plans, right?
I would like to see speed climbing being spread out throughout the Western Cape, which is kind of my area of influence, but actually the rest of the country would be good too.
Yes.
But for me, it's a very easy one to propagate because the speed climbing is first of all very safe. You have an automatic belay system, so you don't require another person's skill in case you fall off. You clip into an automated device which catches you every time, and there's no risk there. So it's a very safe thing for people without really much knowledge of climbing. And it's very easily understood. The person with the lowest time is the winner. As with running and everything else, you know who won because they got the fastest time. With some of the other disciplines of climbing, it's a little more complex to actually know who's winning even at any particular time. So what this means is that if we can put a speed wall up in a small town in the Western Cape somewhere, all we need is an enthusiastic school teacher with a stopwatch, and they can start competitions and start competing with one another. And different schools could perhaps have access to it. And so for me, it's a very easy and the thin end of the wedge, because what I'm hoping is that people will then start to climb and come to our competitions and see, oh, there's bouldering too, and that's really cool, you know, or whatever.
You don't use any harnesses and stuff for the wall. Hey, it's free.
Oh, no. Whether it's automatic or not automatic and someone's manually belaying you, you need a harness.
You're still clipped into a harness?
It's just a carabiner that you clip in. That's the difference with the automatic.
Okay, all right, okay. And of course you need people who are skilled in this field to be there to support the children that want to learn the sport. Hey?
Well, for the lead climbing and bouldering, it's a lot more complicated and a lot more technical. When one gets up to the really fast times, I mean, when Quincy wants to better his time from 8.9 to 5 seconds, that's going to require some very specialized skills.
Absolutely.
In terms of training and how to build the right
Well,
strength.
we'll start with the blindfold,
right,
right, Quincy?
Here we go.
There's a cheap way of getting you closer to 5 seconds. Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us. Well, and I hope you will return to give us some good news from your upcoming championships. Yes. And Chris, well done.
Thank you.
On getting the new discipline introduced, because it's not easy to introducing a new discipline and also getting the buy-in from the community to get involved. Hey,
not sure that we've got that far yet, but we'll get there.
We've already got a rising star here.
Yeah, absolutely, and that helps us hugely with the buy-in. You know, when somebody's excelling in something, there's always it always makes it easier to sell the concept on, sell it on.
Yeah, yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leonard.
Thank you, Chris. I'll see you again, I'm sure, next month, probably. Okay, and it's time for that Bashes competition. Now, Bashes has been around for more than 120 years, and with their amazing flavors, definitely one of Cape Town's favorite cool drinks. Everybody's got their Bashes story, and everybody's got their favorite Bashes flavor. To win your case of assorted Bashes drinks, all you need to do is SMS Bashes to 33090. That's Bashes to 33090. After the break, we'll be back with another amazing sport, so please stay tuned for that.